Hey there, Adrienne Elise here. Welcome to the GAIA Daily for March 26th through 29th, 2021. How are you doing? Well, we're coming up on this full moon in Libra and just a really powerful messages. This astrology, we've just had one thing after another this whole year of 2020. 2020 was off the charts astrologically. The saga continues. Can you feel the acceleration? We've been feeling this acceleration, like time is weird, it's going fast, going slow, and yet are we getting anywhere? And this is this feeling of this astrology right now saying to us that we've been waiting. How long have we been waiting for the world to change? And then coming to terms with your destiny, who you are as an advanced soul, and that there's nothing else to wait for. And we are the change we've been waiting for. And so that means we have to change. And that's what we've been doing, transforming from the inside out. And it's an inside out world, and it's an inside out life. And maybe that's because we need to completely rearrange. And this is the energy that we're feeling right now. Mercury for the last couple of days has been an exact square to the nodes of the moon. Actually, we've been feeling this since the middle of the month. And Mercury having gone a retrograde in Aquarius, and that retrograde in Aquarius was about trying to figure out second half of Aquarius, how are we going to get to where we are trying to go in this Aquarian age? What do we need to do? What do we need to change in our perspective? Now, back in Pisces, in the Pisces energy, and it's kind of like, this disconnect, right, between the vibrational reality and the physical reality, and the House of Cards delusional pantomime reality. And it comes back to this energy that we were talking about before around understanding that the manifest reality, the matrix reality, is all about everything, all the lies, all the shit is about getting you to feel bad, pulling you back down into those lower vibrational frequencies. And so this is this. So what's happening is really powerful for this full moon. It's on Sunday, Libra full moon. And what happens is it's exactly opposite of Aries, Sun, Venus, Chiron. 8 degrees Aries, full moon at 8 degrees, 18 minutes of Libra. And so what's happening with this full moon is that it's forming a kite. I've been talking about the star pattern that's been happening in the sky with one planet in each sign. And so this is making, when you have sextiles on either side of an opposition, it creates a kite pattern. And so this full moon on Sunday, at the time of this exact full moon, it's like there's just this magic moment. And we've been having lots of mystical, magical little transits that are trying to push us through to a new reality, right? But the configuration of this kite, this full moon kite, tells us a lot about what we're doing, where we're going, what we're trying to do, okay? So if you picture a kite, like a Charlie Brown type kite, it's like the regular diamond shape of what you would imagine. And this is what the sky is doing. The body of the kite, so there's an axis that goes up and down. This is the full and new, or the Sun, Venus, Chiron at the top of the kite. And in the bottom of the kite is this Libra full moon. Now, the body of the kite is made up of a Grand Trine, in this case, a Grand Air Trine. And we're speaking of lift. We're speaking of, come on, we got to lift up out of this. It's time. The wind is under your sails. And are you going to take this opportunity to be the change and step through into, the Aries energy right now? So the top of the kite is this Sun, Venus, Chiron, all at 8 degrees. Transformation of the feminine, transformation of the feminine's identity, transformation of the feminine's identity according to access to life force energy. This is leading the way. This is what we're trying to do. This is pointing the direction of the kite. We're trying to claim back that life force. This is what this is all about in this phase, because, when you do claim your own reality and you feel good and you are in the world of possibilities and hope and outside of the drudged pantomime garbage, you are really living. And we're trying to get back even our awareness that this life force exists, our permission to access it within our own being, and to run with it. And that's what this kite is about. Finally, the lift is coming, And it's interesting because we've got that Mercury square the nodes. It's just coming off. We're going to feel that right through this full moon. And then we move into feeling more Mercury conjunct Neptune, which is about seeing through the eye hole needle of the delusions into the truth that remains, that can get us through to out of the matrix into a more true reality, into this golden age of Aquarius that you've been working on for thousands of years and lifetimes on this project, to land home these higher frequency vibrations, to be a part of the incarnation of Christ consciousness. It's huge. And you're doing it. So hang in there and know that there's a momentum building finally. And this is, I was talking about how the forces that have held back our evolution for so long did it by keeping us from the momentum. Our universe is ever expanding. Ever expanding. Right now, this is our story. This is the truth. And these forces have been like rains. Oh, no, you don't, humanity. Stay in trauma. Stay in the past. Stay in the loop. Stay in the fear, And it's like we're so close to just getting out on that edge of possibility. And it's like, but see how opposite that is of what the bullshit movie we're being fed? So you have to shut all of that off and be like, this is my sacred work, And this kite is saying your sacred work is co-creation. Got to break down all our walls and boundaries. And it's hard because supernova souls, you've had to be so boundaried up to protect your precious, precious spiritual light. But if we don't get together, if we don't break down these walls and boundaries and programming that is keeping us from each other, we can't get into our next phase. And this is what this kite is saying. So the kite, the axis of the kite is the Aries Libra, right? And the full moon in Libra then is like the rudder of the kite. It's a base. It's kind of gives direction and steering and stability. So this is saying that it's relationships that can actually, which is funny because the old paradigm, especially for supernova souls with all your lower karmic narcissistic journey in relationships, it's really hard to even imagine a relationship that really wants to lift you up. It's always about holding your potential down, right? And this kite is like flipping this all around and saying, hey, you guys, it's actually to claim that full access to full expression and life force. It's our relationships that are going to be able to give us the foundation to do that. It's a new paradigm in relationships, because we've got this air trine is Saturn and Aquarius trying to build in the new reality. Mars, North Node, Gemini, the voice, the expression, the truth, the inspiration, the creative expression, the airwaves, right? Lifting us up out of the muck, out of the swamp. And then we've got the full moon in Libra, right? So this air trine, it's just the full moon happens real fast, right? But for that magic moment of this full moon, it's like, come on, let's fly. And how amazing and we still have this transit going on. Jupiter now makes it today to 22 degrees, but in semi-sextile to Neptune at 21 degrees Pisces in new territory. And it's kind of cracking open a new possibility, that pinhole, seeing through the delusions to get back to truth. The truth is who we are as God consciousness. It's been kept from us every which way to the point of poisoning us, toxifying our environment, microwaving us, like injecting us with stuff that just makes our body, our whole immune system malfunction. Guess what? Oh, it's our immune system that is the living, breathing, the example, or what that is life force. So no wonder the medical tyranny attacking us and our ability to protect ourselves. Whew. It's weird. It's like everything is just culminating. You can feel it. Are we going to slip through? Are we going to go inside out? Are we going to zap into another place? Or they get zapped away? We don't know. But ride the wave and catch the wind and be in your place above the clouds with the birds. Fly with the birds right now. And it's like, well, maybe I'm in denial and I should feel bad. And everybody around you is going to want you to get involved. They're going to pull you right back into those stories. And it's such an important time right now to make your own movie and seek out, be open to those souls that can be there with you. And this full moon is a magical coming together and demonstration, just showing us that the foundation of how we claim our life back, our world, our reality, our future, our God consciousness is through supportive relationships, supporting our full expression. More is more, win-win. I want to see you shine. Let's do this. And so it's quite a powerful formation in the sky. And, with the Aries leading the way, we got to get back to life force and God consciousness and claim our power. And Libra saying, well, we need to have a new basis, a new foundation. For supernova souls, it's like, fine, I'll go out there, I'll do it alone. And now it's like your mission, your path, your purpose is to co-create, and we got to get this worked out. And that's what this kite is about. When you fly off and you take that leap, it feels like you're all alone in the wilderness, but you're not. That's how you get back to a healthier wholeness, right? And this Libra, 8 degrees Libra moon, transformation of relationships, a new paradigm of relationships, and it's speaking to the perfect balance, the alchemy of opposites that creates magic, that creates more than the parts. Now, this has been a huge energy because we've been having the sun and Venus getting closer and closer. They've been in exact conjunction here for the last couple of days and still for the next couple of days, and really close still for this full moon at 8 degrees with Chiron. And it's just a buildup of this exalted high priestess experience, the empowerment of that feminine, but it can't happen without the balance and the support of the masculine and that perfect balance of what we do in relationships, this powerful mirror that can create something new and different. So really powerful energies, and that it's interesting because we still have the Pisces energy, and that's going to go just to the end of the month. Mercury conjunct Neptune is like the last bit of this Pisces 4 or 5 months of this kind of journey. And Mercury, after retrograde in Aquarius, square the nodes, now in council with Neptune. How do we get the magic back into our world? How do we drop the program and pick up the dream? And right now it's saying, don't pay attention to it. Just take your attention back. Bring your attention back to what you want to put it on again and again. Turn it all off right now. And because what's happening, have you been feeling this? You're on the path, you're on the journey, you're getting more and more sensitive. And you got to tend to yourself. The fact that you're getting more and more sensitive to the world, sensitive to energies, that means you are creating in the new vibration. This is who you are. As we evolve spiritually, we get more and more empathic and more sensitive, which is why we got to clean up our world or we can't even be here. And right now it's saying, like, take that precious sensitivity that's so bothered by so easily, and Put it on the magic. Go talk to the birds, hug a tree, be present with what really exists right here, right now, because this acceleration is showing us that this reality is a matrix dream nightmare program. And this kite shape on the full moon says, get out. Get out. Also, break down your walls. Now, a lot of the things, there's really good things coming into the lives of supernova souls. But there's a trick here. And this seems to have to do with this Mercury square the nodes. It's like, it doesn't look like what you thought it would look like. It's like, when you said, well, I would never do that, or that's not me. And then all of a sudden you have to, this is part of the time. Our evolution right now is being able to say, ooh, I was wrong. Wait, I thought I kind of, we've all been programmed and programmed and programmed. And this is deprogramming. Higher frequency vibrations, lifting up out of the old stories so you can just see the light of day. And when you claim those moments more and more every day, you are creating an alternate reality. The alternate reality we have been shown is already exists. Gaia has been reestablished in her glory, right? But the 5D, so why are we still trapped down here? It's almost like the more we got that confirmation of this new energy, the more we got sucked back in. And of course, we're reaching out our hand and pulling souls along and giving them that opportunity. One of the things that's coming up huge in these next couple of days leading up to this full moon, I think, is this with Mercury square the nodes. Of course, it's square the south node. And we haven't talked about this much, but it's really, really on the table right now because the nodes are moving and already halfway through their journey in Gemini. So now we got to figure out what this is about, Gemini Sag. And the South Node and Mercury after that Aquarius retrograde, trying to get some understanding, some perspective. And what it comes down to is that what's keeping us in the lower matrix is this feeling of responsibility to humanity, to the earth, your destiny, your mission. But it's not to wallow down in the dark Kali Yuga anymore. Your destiny and your mission is to fly and be that living, breathing example and co-create, As soon as we come together in more deliberate co-creation energies with that vibrational resonance of awareness in another soul, we are anchoring in. This is what this is saying. It's relationships. This kite is saying it's relationships that anchor in so that we can fly. Not tethered. These are untethered relationships, no strings, right? We want each other. We want to see each other in our full potential and be inspired by each other and support each other because your shining helps me shine. This is the abundance principle. Maybe that's all that Black Moon Lilith, all those squares and tension. It's releasing the dark feminine archetypes back into out of lack and fighting for what you need, improving yourself, back into the abundance of regeneration, free energy. More is more, perpetual motion, but you need a spark. And we got that with this Aries energy. We've got the spark. We've got the Sun and Venus and Chiron saying that getting over those wounds. It's like, stop crying about being cut off from your power, right? Stop playing that movie. Easier said than done, I know. But just claim back your moment because as time gets weird, more and more weird, it just has that, it's just more clearly a delusion. And so there we can get out of the trap. And, we talk about being in the now, but being in the now infers that we actually have time. This is the trap. The trap holding us back in the old loop is the trap of time, of 3D, where they want to keep us as this awesome food source. Wait a minute, we're a food source? Wait a minute, we've been feeding the lower matrix? What happens when you hold and contain that energy for what you want to create? And that's where we got to have the co-creation. It's interesting because it's like we're being asked to break down the walls that have been keeping us from connecting with each other and allowing love and community in our life. But we're also being asked to contain our energy. And maybe that's the relationships. The sacred relationship keeps the field contained so that you can create the magic. And the rest of the bullshit just kind of bounces off, right? And it's all, and the light of that alchemy of opposites is its own protection and amplification. And just deep, deep mysteries in this astrology. I could go on for hours, but I hope that you can consider joining for this full moon. It's really powerful with this kite formation, including the North Node and Mars. Mars coming up with exact North Node conjunction right there for this full moon. Mercury, Neptune. A star formation in the sky saying it's time for activation. This is your light body. The liftoff is like, this isn't what you came for, this lower play. It's not who you are. It's not what you came for. You have these incredible gifts inside of you that you didn't know you had. It has to do with that life force, has to do with your ability to use your higher faculties, your higher intuitive knowing to activate into the light that you are, your light body. You know how to do this if you're listening to this. And that part of you is ready to land home and get on with it. And so it's interesting. So we need to land home, that the base of the kite, these alchemical relationships that can support us in flying. So enjoy the weekend, be in the possibility, grab a hold of this magic kite, let the wind fill your sails, catch the wind in your sails. And maybe I'll see you for that live activation. That's going to be noon on Sunday in Mountain Time in the US. And that is right at the exact time, like 40 minutes before the exact full moon. And so that will be a very powerful moment together because we can lift up into this kite, right? And the energies that have come up around this full moon is around untethering, because Aries wants freedom. And in the wounds of giving up your life force, so authority, contracts, fear programming, and the blocks around us being able to come together in our next chapter and do this co-creation experience together. So it's going to feel way better no matter what happens in the world. Don't wait. Don't wait for anything else. Let's be here together. Let's go above the clouds and fly home, back to earth, ground, incarnate this light so that we can demonstrate the light body. So that's really great energy. So maybe you can make that live activation. If you can't make it live, the energy is encoded. You can get it as soon as you are available. The replay is available immediately after the event at the same link that you sign up. So you just go right this way. The same link is going to take you to that replay, and the energy is there for you. And this is such a powerful affirmation right now in these times, saying, I'm not going to listen to that voice that says, oh no, go over here. No, don't, da, da, da. It's time to open again. Maybe there's been a shift enough in our vibration in this realm, in this paradigm of what we're trying to juggle, that we can open, drop our boundaries, right? A little bit and open up, feel a little safer. And so we can just kind of crack the code of all this programming and get back together. You've been working on this project with this group of souls for a long time. So perhaps this energy of the kite flying and lifting up with this air trine is being able to get above the clouds and to look down and have a different perspective and be like, oh, what if we've been trapped here for so long, it feels like. I know supernova souls feel this, like, oh, how many times do I have to, how many incarnations, how many lifetimes? When can I get out of this trap, right? And what if it feels like it's been a really long time, but it's actually a really short time, like a dream? And you just step out of that dream and you're like, oh God, I went through all of that. Whew, so glad I made it to the other side. We're right there. So be present. I hope, let's be present for this full moon, the exact time of this full moon. Even if you can't make the activation, let's be present together. Let's say yes to this leap of faith and to really living and to claiming what we need to do what we're here to do. Enough of these games. Get the F out of the way. Right? Okay, so hang in there. Have a wonderful weekend. So much love to you, supernovas. And I look forward to seeing you on that live activation or the next update. Until then, Adrienne Elise. Namaste.